All right, we will go ahead and get started. I appreciate the love for the fall background. I'm trying to embrace the fall, even though it is still quite warm where I am in Atlanta, Georgia. So um, who knows? Maybe the leaves will change sometime in the next month, but we will see. So glad to see everybody joining today. Um, we will likely be closing the chat just so that way we have all the Q&As available within that Q&A section and we don't miss anything there, but we'll make sure to open the chat back up later today as well. But that being said, let's go ahead and get started on kind of a couple agenda items real fast. So welcome to today's webinar on course design best practice. Closed captions have been enabled, so you do have the option to show or hide those depending on your needs. We will be answering questions through the Q&A box throughout today's session. So please make sure to leave those questions in there. We'll get to those as soon as we can. A recording of this session will be posted to our YouTube playlist in the next week or so. And we will send a follow-up email with a link to that playlist, as well as a copy of the slide deck and the Q&As from today. So let's get started with today's agenda. We'll start with some quick introductions for those who have not met us yet. From there, we will talk about some course design tips. Next, we will have a demo in the platform. And to finish off, you'll have time to ask questions and reflect on what we've discussed today. So a little bit about us. My name is Victoria Fulhenshaw, and I'm a customer enablement specialist here at D2L. I do have my colleague Christina here with me, and I believe Alvaro will be joining us in just a bit, but they will be answering any questions that you may have in the Q&A chat. And before we do get too far, for those who might be a little bit new to D2L, I just want to clarify a few terms. You might have heard of D2L or Brightspace before. To clarify, D2L is the company that we work for. You can see it on the shirt here. Brightspace is the product that we make, learning management system. And depending on where you work, your organization might call Brightspace by another name. Although some of your organizations may have different names for their learning management system, if you're here, then they should all refer to Brightspace. In addition, our Brightspace community is an online forum filled with resources and opportunities to connect with other Brightspace users. And Christina just added a link in the chat for you to join Brightspace community if you have not done so yet. So when you are starting out with course creation, there are 3 steps that we all go through. First is planning your course. You need to understand who your audience is and what they need to get out of the course content. The second is structuring your course and planning for course structure across your organization. This is vital to the learner experience. And finally, how does your course or your courses fit into the big picture of your organization? And how are you demonstrating that value? So let's start with planning. While planning, think about the types of courses learners are completing, as that will guide the experience. So with compliance courses, usually users want to get in and out and complete it as quickly as possible. They'll probably have a few of those to do, so you want to make sure that the experience is consistent across your courses. With professional development courses, you do have to think about, are your users doing multiple courses? Do you want them to complete multiple courses? If you do, not only do you want to keep the similar experience across your courses, but you'll also want to keep a high level of interactivity to keep learners engaged and promote knowledge gain and retention. And last but not least, we do have those longer qualifications or certifications. With these, it's good to consider whether you want one long course or if you should break it down into separate courses and sequence them. Moving on to structure. As I mentioned earlier, it is important to have a similar design across your courses. If someone is completing multiple courses within your organization, you'll want their experience to be seamless. A great first step to ensuring consistency is creating a style guide. And when I say style guide, I'm referring to a shared set of standards. So things like your preferred fonts, color palette, page layouts, and even guidelines for how content should be chunked. Think of it as like a roadmap, so that way your course builders can follow that. And no matter who is creating that content, the end result feels cohesive and aligned with your organization's brand and learning goals. Other key areas to keep in mind when creating and using a style guide are naming conventions, where will activities exist, and expected time to complete courses. One way to actually show your guidelines is through example courses that subject matter experts can copy from. But all that I mentioned is great when it comes to setting up the course itself, but there's also considerations to be made when setting up the content within your course, such as the choice of topics, the types of assessments being used, having a clear learning objective, and planning how the course module will scaffold into the next. But now that you've created an amazing course, it is time to go broad. So it's important to understand how your course fits into the overall big picture of your organization and how you're showing that value. So when you're thinking through this process, consider what course data is important to you and perhaps your leadership. Does your course result in a certification or qualification? Or maybe you're doing a compliance course. Either way, it'll be important to track course completion and understand what qualifies as completion. If you want to get deeper into defining completion, we actually had a session on that back in July, and you can find that recording and the Bright Ideas for Upscaling playlist on YouTube. And as a reminder, we will send a link to that playlist in our follow-up email. All right, well, all that being said, let's jump into our demo environment. All right, so before we get really into the course-specific items, I do want to start at the organizational level. To keep a cohesive feel from course to course, we recommend keeping a few homepage areas standard, like the navigation bar, the theme, and the homepage layout. So let's start with the nav bar. To change your nav bar or to manage those, you'll just go up to this ellipses here at the edge of your nav bar and click on nav bar options. Right now I am on my organizational homepage. I'm not within a course itself. And from here, I can just edit this nav bar itself, but I'd like to actually manage all course nav bars. Keep in mind, if you are not an administrator within your organization, then you might not have access to this. So depending on your permissions, your experience might look a little bit different. But you can see I have a number of nav bars created for my Brightspace instance already. From this space, I can change my active nav bar. I can also preview previously created nav bars. So we use this environment for our K-12, our higher education, and for our professional customers as well. So we can preview this one for kindergarten. And you can see how different this nav bar looks for this experience. But not only can you preview those, but you can also create nav bars from here from scratch. When creating a new nav bar, be sure to name it based on how you'll be using it. Even something as simple as master copy is good, so course creators can know what to expect from it. You can also add a description to help make that clear. The links down here are where you'll truly get started with your nav bar. It's best practice to start with the links that will be used most often, such as content. So I can press add links here. And it's super easy to go and search here. You can, if you'd like to, enable that icon-based navigation as well. That one can be fun to add some visual elements to your course. But we do recommend using the resources that you use the most, ordering them from left to right. Clicking back out of this, because I do want to show you a few other things in that navbar editing space. Let's cancel this. Not only do we have our nav bars here, but we also have our themes and custom links. So the themes, the page looks very similar to our nav bar, but the theme itself is like the color and the branding of your course. So when you go to create a theme, this is where you would add the colors that go right here, your primary color, and then your accent color at the very top. And then you'll add your logo here. So right now we have our D2L Brightspace, but you can add something that best fits your organization. You can actually even add GIFs in here and they will move, which is something I found out not too long ago. And then when we get into those custom links, this is where you'll add links that are specific to the needs of your organization. You can even make link groups like resources where you can link materials outside of Brightspace. So right now we have a link group called assessments. We have individual links here called activities and Brightspace mobile. But essentially these are where you could go and link out to any of those materials that are just not natively found within Brightspace. If you choose to give course level permissions, all of this can actually be done at the course level as well. So let me show you what that looks like. We're going to our select a course button and we'll go to our workplace wellness course. All right, so here you'll see that my navigation bar and my themes already look different than my course organization homepage. But to go and change that nav bar, all you'll have to do is, once again, go to that ellipses up in the nav bar, and we have the option to actually edit the shared one because of my administrator privileges, or customize the nav bar. If you have course level permissions, you can work with a copy of the nav bar, and then you can go and rename, move around your links, add new ones, make it icon-based once again, and even change the theme straight from here. So once again, this looks very similar to that organizational workflow, but this is just at that course level. For now, I'm going to go ahead and press cancel here. And let's move on to our homepage itself. So one quick tip is to not overload or overcrowd the homepage and keep only what's necessary for a clean and modern look. You'll see that we have our welcome announcement here. We have information on where to go for questions, a calendar with assignments, and our awards leaderboard widget. Depending on the kind of course you're offering, the awards leaderboard widget can be a great place for friendly competition or even networking. That networking piece is something that we see a lot of within associations. And you can edit your homepage to have the widgets you will use most by going to the ellipses down here at the bottom, clicking edit this homepage. And we can go and scroll down and add our widgets. You can also go and change your layout here too. So for those who aren't familiar with that, there are some cool looking layouts here that you can change depending on the needs of that particular course. And to add a widget, we just click here, press add widget. And we have all of our widgets here that are available. I will just go with our admin tools for now. Click add. And it's as easy, if you don't like where it's at, it's as easy as like dragging and dropping it here to wherever you'd like it to be. All right, so next we will jump into the content area and you'll see if yours looks similar to mine or not and get an idea of if you have that new content or classic content experience. So let's go into that content space. And from my experience, I am set up for the new content experience. So if yours looks more like this, then it's likely that you do have the new content experience. So within this area, the layout of your modules will be based on what you want your course to achieve. By dividing the modules into topics, this will make each content area more digestible for learners to go through. Creating short, standalone modules will also make it easier for your users to complete content in bursts, whether that be between meetings, on the bus, or anywhere they may have time to get work done. Brightspace was built with a mobile responsive design, so users can easily access and complete content directly from their phone or tablet, with or without the Brightspace Pulse app. So within this module, you'll see that we started with a Start Here module that has our course expectations. We highly recommend having expectations listed so that way the users will know what they need to do in order to reach course completion. In this case, it's receiving 80% or greater on the quiz. And if they don't, then they have additional content that they'll have to complete to achieve completion for the topic. And you'll also see when I click on Stress at Work, one of our modules here, and Reduce Anxiety, both of these modules are set up in the exact same format to keep consistency across them for learner experience. And then we can start with a pre-assessment. And then we also have release conditions set up. So based off of the score on this pre-assessment or quiz, it would either release additional content or give you a congratulations page. Release conditions are also a great way to gate content so learners cannot jump ahead. One last thing to note, now I'll actually bring something up about learning objectives as well, because I know you guys had asked about that. But one thing to note about your content space itself, when giving that content area, be sure to build in opportunities to practice. So whether that be some quick knowledge checks that your users can go and kind of complete things. I know for this one, we have Creator Plus in here, so we can do some easy practices here. Or it could even be something as simple as adding in some multimedia, like a video. Also using like assignments and discussion boards. All of these are great ways for users to go and actually interact with your content, and also gives them opportunities to interact with other professionals as well. All right, and one quick note, I know you guys were wondering about aligning learner objectives. You can see here that I actually have my outcomes aligned to activities here. So if you have not explored that, be sure to check out kind of like that outcome section, and you'll be able to kind of, there's an option to add your own outcomes into here, and then you can, within the course information itself, you can go and align all of your materials to certain content as well. So if we haven't had a session on that yet, maybe we'll have something like that in the future. All right, but let's go ahead and jump back into our slide deck and share some resources with you guys. We will be adding a bunch of links in the chat for the next few slides, so be ready to click on those and grab those if you need them. We do invite you to join the D2L Champions program. Being a champion gives you the opportunity to receive points for attending webinars like this one, submitting blog posts, and even giving us reviews online. You can then redeem these points for things like swag, gift cards, and additional D2L services. So the link for the Champions program will be found in the chat soon. And this may have been your first webinar with us, but we do have lots more to come. Here are a look at the topics that we've planned through February, and the link to register for those upcoming sessions is in the chat. Our overview page lists all of the session descriptions, and you can also find links to our past sessions there too. But while we are talking about webinars, our training team actually hosts 2 monthly sessions for all Brightspace users. The first is a Q&A drop-in session where you can get your Brightspace questions answered in real time. And the second is focused on what's new in Brightspace using our monthly release notes. So these sessions give you free access to our D2L training team in a way that you might not get otherwise. So be sure to check them out if you're available. You can also find a link with more information on those sessions in the chat. And we would love to hear from you guys. We have created a post-session survey, as many of you guys are familiar with, and would appreciate if you could share your feedback with us. Your feedback helps us to improve our offerings for the future. And I know that we have had some repeat sessions due to request in those surveys. But if you guys have any other topics in mind, like maybe doing something with aligning learning objectives, definitely add that in the survey. We can have that there and adjust our offerings for the future for you guys. So if you'd like to participate in that survey, you'll just either scan the QR code on the screen or click on the link in the chat. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and move over to our discussion/reflection time. So we do have just a few topics for you to talk through, but these are just mere suggestions. So what are you doing to create consistent course design across your organization? Sharing your favorite element from one of your courses or a tip for creating awesome courses. And then what stood out to you today that you'd like to implement within your organization. So we do encourage you to raise your hand, but we have also opened up the chat so that way you guys can respond in the chat to any of these. But if you would like to respond to kind of what you've learned today, or even take the time now to ask any questions, the floor is open to you guys. And I can definitely play some more jazz if you guys would like more of it. Hey, Alvaro.
Hello, good morning. I'm into the jazz. By the way, you can play it.
Let me see. It actually looks like Jane had shared that they've worked with someone to create templates. It looks like Carrie was saying that they leverage default templates for the divisions within the org, but introducing a style guide would be helpful too. Oh, for sure. And I didn't even mention the templates within the content space itself. Having those designated templates to create the content can also make that space look uniform as well.
Some admins ask where can they find the template themselves. So that can be found in the admin cog. I always point here, and then in a module called public files. There you will surely see a folder called HTML templates. Go in there. They will surely be either B3, B5, or custom. There's a folder in there that will show you all of the templates so you can edit them as well. They are only yours. You can do what you want with them. And also, if you want to learn how to edit them a little bit better, like to add more styling, the content, the colors, headers, your logo, talk to your CSM and we will be able to guide you on how to do it or help you get learning services team to do it for you. Oh, the quality matters templates. Those are cool. I've seen them a couple of times. I haven't personally used them, but I've seen them. I'm I'll talk to Jackie because I want to try them out. Thank you, Jane. Matters.
I've definitely heard some great things about those Quality Matters templates as well. It's one of those things where in my role, I just don't really get to use them myself, but I love it when when our customers get to actually work with Quality Matters into those.
Yeah, whenever I talk to an admin and I see that they have a fully branded system with icons and everything, I just I'm wowed because not everybody goes the extra mile to fully brand their system. That is so cool.
Meanwhile, I'm making odd themes. I make cat themes. I make all these different fun ones just because I also work with the K-12 customers. So I feel like it can be fun to add those kinds of personalities. But I know in a more associations or training environment, it might not be quite the same. So, but you can always be fun with it if you'd like to.
Yeah, I have also seen some associations that they split what they teach into like levels or like learning paths or so. So whenever I see that their system is too bland because everything has the same colors, I tell them, okay, let's like color code it to simplify it for users and also to be more accessible. So whenever you see like the navbar that is, I don't know, green, you know that that is like the apprenticeship learning path. If it is purple, then it is like the foreman learning path. Like I did this a couple of weeks ago with an admin who teaches exactly that, like apprenticeship and foremans and other roles which I'm not very familiar with. Hello, Jane. Join us.
Right. Oh, so you had just mentioned the accessibility, like the different colored nav bars, and are those accessible also?
So the color contrast has to be okay in the foreground or like in the color background and also in the font text. That can
Okay.
be done in the themes itself. So whenever you want to build a theme, you go into the admin cog and then n- navigation and themes and then link it into a navbar. Always build the
Uh,
theme and then the navbar, because if not, you will lose the navbar process to build the theme, which has happened to me way too many times. So that's exactly what I was talking about. Thank you very much, Victoria, and I can
okay.
see the cat as well.
Yeah, I figured I'd go change my silly theme here, but you can see that it won't let us do a light foreground here because the it just doesn't meet those accessibility standards. So,
Really.
yeah,
Good deal. Okay, thank y'all.
yeah, of course.
I didn't know that I can add a GIF to the logo.
It is something you can do, and it actually goes and it moves while you're in the course itself. So,
Yeah,
there's lots
Wait,
of fun things you can do with themes.
can you show us how to do that?
I mean, this was just a standard GIF. So all I
Uh-huh.
did was within that logo space, I uploaded one that I already had saved to my computer, and it moved. I was actually very surprised that it moved on its own.
what
Huh.
is interesting,
Can
Jane, is that you can do that also with the widgets, like the custom widgets. I do that all the
Mhm.
time. I have a PowerPoint that I set up the slide to be a square. So I like add animations in the PowerPoint and the transitions and so on. And then I export that specific slide as a GIF. So I upload it into a custom widget and it moves.
Interesting. Okay. Well, so clearly y'all need to offer um I don't know how to like trick out your page. Y'all need to offer this as a class. Just saying.
Thank you very
I
much.
We will definitely take that note. And Jane, if you haven't already done the survey, if you could remember to put that in there because I keep track of all of them. So I'll make a
Sure.
note for it now. But if you have it listed, at least you know
Can
other
can
people
you
won't say
post
I made it up.
Oh, and totally understood. Can you list the link? Because I'm sorry, my phone, I forgot my
Yeah,
phone.
of course.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, this is the link for the survey. Let me pop that up, and I can actually even go back to that slide too, if it's easier to do a QR code as well. Awesome. All right, I know we are at time, so I do want to thank everybody here for participating and everything. I always love having these kind of more active discussions. So, and it does sound like another person is asking for a session on kind of how to trick out your homepage. So I
Yeah.
know that I don't think we've done one on custom widgets or anything like that yet. So maybe we can get Alvaro's expertise on the custom widgets. We can get mine on the themes, and then we can kind of do something, a collaboration for the future.
Uh, an admin that I have just did exactly that with like landing pages and everything. Her secret was that she is very good using Canva. So she designed the very interesting stuff and then exported them to add them into the widgets. So her system is unique. Like I love that system.
Maybe we can, Alvaro, if you have, if she's interested, I mean, maybe she
Yeah,
can come in and show us herself. So,
absolutely.
yeah, that is also an option for any of you guys who are interested in, sharing something that you've done that's really cool within your environment. We are taking volunteers for any of those as well. So if there's something that you are really excited about, really want to share with other organizations, we can definitely get that set up for you guys. So, all right. Well, it is a little bit over time, so I love all the comments. I love all the engagement. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We will be sending that follow-up email in just a short while. And then the recording of the session will be shared onto YouTube within the next week or so. So looking forward to hopefully seeing you guys in a future session.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.